Hello! Welcome back to a new video. Us filmmakers know how important the sound production is for a film. But still, there are some people that think that the video itself is what creates the professional Hollywood feeling. Oops. Just have to turn this on. There we go. I can agree that the video quality is really important. But by doing some nice sound recording on set and by working with sound design in post, it can really strengthen the film quality. In this video, I will show some of my tips when recording sound on set and also working with the sound in post-production. I hope you enjoy. A lot of indie filmmakers choose to record sound directly into the camera, either if it's a built-in microphone or an external microphone connected to the camera. The most common setup I have seen is this: a Røde microphone on top of a DSLR camera. That's it. No need for an external sound device or an extra sound person on set. This is a cheap and nice solution, especially for documentary shooting, where you usually have to run and gun. But when creating a fictional film, like a short film, it's a really good idea to add an extra person to your crew doing the sound. Let me show you why. This is the first scene in a short film I made. I wanted the whole beginning to be in a wide-angle shot, while the characters talk to each other. If I were to record the sound of this scene with my Røde microphone on top of the camera, it would sound like this. That kind of sound quality is unfortunately quite common in low-budget movies. To make the sound better, you need to get closer to the objects. However, if I want to shoot from this angle, I can't move that much closer. I could record in this angle and then make them try to repeat the scene while I film them as close as possible, and then add the sound in post. But that takes more time and it's often hard to recreate the dialogue 100%. Therefore, in my opinion, the best solution is to have an extra person on set doing the sound recording. You don't need to be difficult to record sound, so you can use one of your friends if they want to help you. My tip is to buy external sound device, like for example the Zoom H4n, a boom pole, like the Røde mini pole, a shock mount, and a shotgun microphone, like the Røde NTG-1. Then you connect this equipment together with an XLR cable, and you are ready to record. The whole idea of sound recording is to get as clear sound as possible. To do this, you need to get as close as you can get to the sound source. Let's look at this situation. You are recording a shy boy that speaks really low.
Hva skal jeg si?
If you stand too far away, his voice will get too low, and you'll probably get a lot of surrounding noise, like cars, dogs, airplanes, and so on.
Jeg heter Jonas, 16 år.
A lot of people want to use the surrounding sound in their film, but then my tip is to record it separately after your character has finished talking. Then you can add the sounds together in post and control it like you want. Imagine this was the frame of the shot. Then it will be no problem for the sound guy to move closer to the object. Let's do so.
Burde jeg ikke snakke engelsk egentlig? Skjønner du hva jeg sier nå?
Now you can hear his voice much better. As you can see, the sound guy is holding the boom pole high up in the air. That makes it possible for him to move even closer, since it won't be inside the frame.
Ja, nei, men koselig det her. Er det noe mer jeg skal si, eller?
Now the sound quality is great. You can also see that his microphone is pointed down toward his mouth and away from the sound of the airplanes. Just before shooting, try to get rid of things that makes unnecessary noises, like phones or annoying foxes. A lot of sound devices has both manual and automatic sound control. With a manual sound control, you control how sensitive the recorder is. I must admit that I normally use automatic recording, because it's easier. But for some situations, it's better to stick with the manual. Since the boy suddenly screamed for no reason, the automatic recording lowered the sensitivity of the recorder. Now we almost can't hear his voice. If this was recorded manually, the recorder wouldn't have lowered the sensitivity, and we could still hear him good. Now let's go back to the scene I wanted to shoot in a wide-angle shot. I have now placed a sound person behind the trees, so we can record the dialogue as good as possible without getting too much into the frame. I knew I could hide parts of the boom pole in the post-production, so this was a nice place for him to stand.
Her tror jeg det var, vi fant så mye I fjor. Tror ikke du det? Sikkert? Ja.
I know that a lot of indie filmmakers don't want to record with an external sound recorder since it creates a lot of more work in post-production. Especially if we don't clap and show the scene number and take before the shot.
Scene 4, take 2.
By clapping and showing these numbers, you can easily find the right sound to the right shot. And then synchronize them by finding the sound of the clapper. In my film, I did it more simple and just had a person clap his hands to synchronize. But I would recommend you to show by either a clapper or your fingers which scene and take it is, and say it at the same time.
Ok, scene 2, taring 3. Ja.
Then it's easier to match the sound and video in post-production. All this synchronizing can be boring and time-consuming, and I know that's a reason for why people don't shoot like this. But I have another great tip. There's a software out there called PluralEyes. What this software does is to synchronize your shots and your sounds automatically. Imagine this is your project. You have some shots of a guy talking to the camera and the sounds from the sound recorder. Drag them all down to the sequence. Before doing anything else, double check that you also have recorded the sound with your camera, or else this won't work. Then press Window, Extensions, and then PluralEyes 3, which is the newest update. Then press Continue, and PluralEyes will open. Here you can see the footage on a timeline. This is the sound from the external sound recorder, and this is the sound from the camera. What this software does is to scan all the sound waves and figure out which sound files that match together, and then synchronize them. If you find out that your sound is too noisy, so the software are unable to synchronize them, you can press the Try Really Hard button. I don't need to press it now, because I know that my sound is clear because it's recorded in a quiet environment. If you are unsure whether your sound clips is in right order or not on the timeline, you can press this button. I think I have to do so now. Then you press the Synchronize button. You can now see how it scans the files and synchronize them. Just after 15 seconds, it's done. Amazing, isn't it? Now let's take a look. Let's choose to hear just the sound from the external recorder.
Det kommer til å bli vakkert, det tror jeg.
Yep, it looks synchronized. Now let's listen to the sound from the camera.
Det forandrer seg jo hele tiden.
Ah, it's so much worse. When you are satisfied, press the button called Export Timeline. Then it sends the sequence back to Adobe Premiere Pro. PluralEyes can also be used with Final Cut Pro.
Hvordan kan vi få til dette her, og hvordan kan vi greie å få til film, altså bilfilm?
Recording good sound quality on set is not the only tip to get a professional look. Use time in post-production to work with the sound design to create the feeling you want the audience to experience. Yeah, so if you want to check out more sound design and post-production videos, you can watch the behind the scenes of a silhouette film I made with some friends. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more films. I'll see you again.